touch it and get as much pleasure as possible from it. Uh, I heard that you got the idea for RK/RK when you were shaving one morning and you wondered what would it be like if your face disappeared. Am I right about that?
Right.
Right. So, and then there's Aankhon Dekhi, it's this fantastic film where there is this character who just says, after witnessing something, he just says, henceforth, I'm going to only, believe what I see with my eyes or what I experience. That's what his philosophy becomes. So there's always some kind of existential slash philosophical flavor, I guess is the word for a
Right.
texture
Right.
that runs beneath the, especially Mithya, right? That's what I was talking about, taking genre material and putting
So,
in.
like these two films that you pointed out, Aankhon Dekhi and RKRK, both the ideas were with me 8, 10 years before I actually wrote them. So I had this Aankhon Dekhi idea in 2003 about a guy who says, I'll only believe what I experience. I didn't know what to do with that idea. Till 8 years later, I thought, okay, joint family. Boom. Then everything was simple after that. Because the joint family gave it the emotional spine, it gave it the story that it needed.
Right.
Otherwise, an idea is boring. Otherwise, an idea is pedantic. I don't want to make films about ideas. Ideas are the life source for it. But the film can't be about that idea. Then you're saying something, teaching something, and that's terrible.
Yeah.
So you look for a story that will disguise the idea in a way, or serve the idea well. RKRK, the earlier draft actually was that his reflection disappears, and then the reflection comes into the real world and takes over his life. So that was the first draft. Again, many years before I actually made the film. In the later drafts, it became that is an actor who disappears. So yeah, the ideas transform slowly into something that is worth telling.
Right, right, right. So, Danish and Chandrachur, can you tell me what was it like when does he give narrations or does he give you the script?
He gives definitely the script, and he changes and then he gives it again. Then he changes it a little and gives it again.
Okay.
So you get like multiple drafts. I mean, also because this is what fourth, so like fourth film. So you get become a part of it, uh, in some sense while it's happening.
Right,
So you get to express yourself while the film's being written.
right. So when you got the first iteration of the first draft, what was it like? What was your
When he gave me the script of Everybody Loves Sohrab Handa, he did not tell me the character I'm playing. He said, read the script and find out what character you are.
but he knew or
He
did
knew,
you
he knew,
okay.
but he did not mention to me what character I'm playing. He said, read the script and figure out what character you're going to play. So I read the script, and I, of course, didn't pick on my character. I thought I'll be either Neil's character or Ranveer's character,
Okay.
either of the two. And
But that's the thing. He could very well have been Madhavan,
um,
or he was supposed to be Chandra.
uh,
She was supposed to be Isha. They could have
Right.
very well done that, and they would have done it differently, and it would have been another
s-
film.
Yeah.
so I called him 2 days later, and I said, no, not called him. He doesn't have a phone. I met him, and I said, so he said, which character do you think you're playing? And I said, I think it's either Madhavan or it's Neil's. Neil, what was your character? Raman, yes. So either Raman or Madhavan. And he says, no, you're playing Kumar. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. I never thought of myself as a Hindi news
As an
media
alcoholic.
Yeah.
anchor alcoholic. But his great strength is a sorcerer knows what magical realm he's going to create. Rajat's great strength is that he knows the world he's creating,
Right.
and he's the vision of that world is so clear that when he gives us the characters and places us in that world, it becomes easier for us to find our own nooks and crannies as characters. So I mean, what good is a cheetah chasing a wildebeest if there's no savannah? He creates a savannah, and the savannah is so complete that when we are meandering in that as characters, we find our own things in that world.
Right.
So I think that is really the great strength. I mean, this is my second film
Right.
with him. I missed out on Kadak for very foolish reasons. I wish I had done that too. And in Aako Dekhi, my involvement was not that much because it was not the way this film was, where it's one location and all the actors are there in all the scenes. Uh, but even in Aako Dekhi, the world was so precise and clear that when I walk in as Gopi Bhai in that den, I know exactly
Yeah.
this is my place, this is my world, and how I have to conduct myself. And in terms of directorial things, yeah, as Sadia said, it is really like that. I mean, he basically just gets us to the set and places us there, and he says, "Find it out, find the scene for me," and we do that. And as the scene starts shaping up, then he would kind of tinker it here and he would tweak it there. And as he does that, more and more things start coming out, and finally we get the scene that we get.
Right. But the scene itself, when you get the script, or at least when you guys arrive at the script, and the scene is there.
Yeah, the scene is there.
So
Yeah.
the dialogues, the scene,
Dialogues,
everything
the
is
scene,
there.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
just that it's how you're going to find the scene. Is
Exactly,
that's
exactly,
the that's
exactly.
the
And also improvise around it.
right, right, right.
If
Yeah, I mean, the freedom to improvise is there.
Right. No, because there are directors who pretty much say, let's see what the dialogues are. Like Mike Lee, for instance, he has a basic structure and then he says, let's literally find the scene at that point. That's not what you're doing, though. That's
no, there is a script.
Right.
So there, but for me, that's like a draft of
right.
a springboard to take off from. If the actors want to drop lines or change lines, what is important is really how they would say it.
Right.
The lines don't matter.
Right. But Rajat, this also involves, like Palomi said, trust. And this means that really having, is that one of the reasons you work with a lot of the same people, just because you know that I can trust these people?
Yeah, but I do
Like the
like to
person
work
sitting
with
next to you.
the people I've never worked with also. Uh, in fact, when we made Aankhon Dekhi, I had not worked with anybody before. Sanjay Mishra, Seema Pava, Chandrachud, Maya Sarao, these were all Danish. All of them were, for me, a first-time experience. So for me, the joy was also to discover these actors and what they will bring. I want to contradict a little bit of what Danish said when he said that I have a very clear idea or a vision. I don't. I really don't. I have I really have just an idea of what you want to do, and it's with these people, with the actors, and with costumes, and with location, and with production design, that things start becoming real, concrete.
Right.
They give it the body.
Right.
Other, like ideas are meaningless,
Right.
if they're not, they don't find the right body.
Right.
I mean, in sense, I think, like most directors enter the casting process at a certain stage. With Rajat, it's, I think, from the get-go, he's involved in the casting process. So the first person I met for Aankhon Dekhi was him. So what seems like these people are doing magic is pretty much they've been chosen at that point with a very grueling process. It's not like one scene, it's scene after scene after scene, improv. What seems like an improv is pretty much he made me improv scenes with him during the casting process. So what seems like you're doing, it's almost like pre-planned, like a sorcerer letting you believe that you're doing all of that. But the process and everything, it's a longer process of you saying that you're doing that, like this part. So to arrive at that point, it takes some time.
I would also like to add that one thing which I learn a lot from Rajat is that he watches all the auditions and he's part of the tests himself. It's not like someone else has conducted the test and he's just watching it on the monitor. So that is something which helps him and helps us, me also as a filmmaker, that that you get to know the actor more than just the script part that you are looking for, and also not just the casting part, but all departments. He's fully hands-on, and in the Foley room, he's always there. You'll find him everywhere.
I mean, as much as I know,
in
pretty
every
much
part.
everybody asked him to play Sohrab Handa. And he very politely said no to everybody and told them what they're going to do.
But why, Rajat? I mean, you could have had a parallel career and probably a very successful one playing Mahesh Uncles, right? It's like the Dil Chahta Hai character.
But I do have a parallel career.
Yeah,
Thank you.
but one doesn't find you that many films, and it's like one almost has to search for. Oh wow, he's there again.
He has let go of some big films because he was directing,
Okay.
and
This has been my identity, really, to be a filmmaker, to want to make films. Acting just happened to me by chance,
Right.
and I enjoy it very much, and it pays the bills. I'm very grateful for that. But this is who I really am.
Right, right, right. Now, you come from, what is the word for it? Age, era, Kumar Shani, people like that, where there was genuinely a movement. Today, you have isolated filmmakers making their kinds of films. You named a few of them when we began. Why do you think this movement did not?
Because the state funding stopped.
That's all there is to it. Because that's what everybody says.
Absolutely.
That's all there is. To it.
Absolutely.
Right.
Because a money call film cannot be made with market forces.
Right.
It has to be state funded.
Right.
State has to say, this is art, we want to nurture art, and here's the money for that.
Right.
Tarkovsky wouldn't have made his films if they were not state funded.
Right.
Paramount Studios was not going to fund him.
So when you say that, the Bollywood films have taken over the shows today for these kinds of films, isn't there a way? Because